Hey guys, welcome to another episode of JS Garage TV. Today we're lucky enough to spend some time with former World Tour surfer Connor Coffin up in his home area of Santa Barbara. Beautiful place. We're going to be going around Connor's garage, looking at his boards, check out some waves he surfed over the winter, and then just recently we're going to hang with him at Lower Trestles where we had a fun summer swell, warm water, even though he's wearing a wetsuit, but you're going to see Connor really throwing caution to the wind on some really fun rides. We're going to get into really deep details on what Connor was riding. So sit back, relax, and listen to Connor, and stay tuned.
This is my garage, and these are all my surfboards, and I have too many, and JS is mad at me because I need to give some back, but I don't like to drive to Oceanside that often, so I was waiting until we did this, and then I'm going to take a bunch of boards back. I have a bunch of boards still from when I did the tour, and all like good wave boards that just seem to sit and collect cobwebs now because I ride more like the fun stuff, the shorter, wider, and the 20s and all that stuff a lot more now. So I feel like living here in Santa Barbara and anywhere in California, you gotta have all those fun boards. What I've been riding the most lately is this Xero Fusion. This one is a swallowtail, 5/8, 19, 2 3/8. And I freaking love this board. It's like, just got that nice like get up and go speed for California stuff, and it works when the waves are soft and gutless and it's skatey and fast and fun, but then when the wave gives you a good section, you can still lay into it. I actually rode this quite a bit at Rincon this year, just on like fun shoulder head high kind of soft days and stuff in the cove. So this has definitely been the one that I've been riding the most lately. And it's got a little extra foam, which is good for the dad bod right now. It's got futures. These are JS templates. I like the JS spin and like kind of his like more, you know, like the smaller wave stuff, just give me a little more drive versus like park and I spin. I ride it in everything too, but I ride it probably more when there's a little bit of surf, and these fins are just a little bit bigger, so they give me a little bit more squirt in the soft stuff. This board, the Red Baron, is so fun. Everyone always makes fun of me for putting pads on twin fins, but literally if I don't, the boards, I blow through the tail, so I just put them on anyways. I've been riding this like a ton, just little waist high days at Rincon. I took it down to Barra too and rode a bit down there, and on the small days. I always think it like looks so wide in the nose, but it freaking works so good. And it doesn't catch up here at all either. So I really like this. It works really good with like a keel set of twins too. It like makes it so drivey. This is my like little stack of like old favorites that I've been hanging on to, sometimes just out of nostalgia even. But this is a Monsta 10. And this is like my go-to favorite board that Jason makes for sure. I just feel like the Monsta is such a good all-around shortboard, and this was what sold me on riding for him. I rode one of Ace's boards and I was just like, holy shit, this thing works insane. He gave me shit for a while. He's like, every time I make you a board that's much different than that Ace board, you go back to the same Ace board that you like. I think that's what I like the most about this board is like the drive and the speed, and it just feels like it has this gas pedal in the back of the board where when you like step into it, it just like wants to take off. And that's like my go-to everyday board when there's waves, like head high and up. This is what I'm riding if it's got a little bit of juice. So fun. I rode this a ton at Rincon. This board works really good. This is a Xero Gravity, 5'9", 18 3/4, 2 3/8. And these are kind of like almost like the same, like feel similar to my Monstas to me, but it's just what I'll ride if it's like a little, like a step under kind of what I'd ride there. So like I was riding this a ton at Lowers a lot, like around the finals, or like when I just go down to surf for a South Swell. It's a little bit flatter than my Monstas, but it has like a similar feel in the back, but just a little bit more glidey and carries more speed, kind of in that like California style surf. Like this board works super well because it still gives me that like drive and like kind of the horsepower that I feel like I get on my Monsta, but just a little bit more zip and like speed and carry over all the flat spots. This is a 6'2" Forget-Me-Not 3 that I got this year in Hawaii. and I actually rode at a pumping day at Rockies, and this board worked insane. Like it felt like it turned like a shortboard. But it's always, I don't know, I love riding a little bit longer boards, especially when they turn really well. And the Forget-Me-Not's kind of just the go-to, like what Jason makes for good waves. And it is a super good tube riding board. Like they just grip the face so well when you're taking off, and it does such a good job of like hiding foam through the middle of the board, but keeping the rail refined and giving it just like that good bite. So yeah, Forget-Me-Not is the go-to for really good waves for sure. This is the Golden Child, 5'11", 18 3/4 2 and 7/16, so it's a little thicker. The first ones I got were like super bladed out, and I think I put on a couple LBs, so I was like, dude, can you make them a little bit thicker? I picked up Parko's board in there so many times in his office. I was like, dude, can you make me this? He kept being like, no. And then finally they did this as sort of like the throwback model to what Joel won all those events on that board, the Golden Child. So pretty, I mean, I think that's what's so cool about getting to ride for JS is just the history and all the amazing surfers he shaped for, like Andy, Aki, Louie, you know, Joel, Julian, Ace, so much experience just shaping for all these insanely good surfers and just so much feedback on boards. So it's pretty cool to get to tap into all that and get to kind of ride the byproducts of all those great surfers and the great shapers. So yeah, Golden Child is like very sensitive to me. Like this board is just like so easy to lay on rail, and it just tips over. It's like super sharp and sensitive, and probably not like the board I would choose to ride like around home every day, but when there's waves and power and you know you're gonna get to go out and like really lay into some turns and ride a wave that has some push, this is the board to do it on for sure. Super fun. So this is a 7.6 Mother Trucker, and it's got 4 fins. I grabbed this just out of the garage stock because I was going to Cloudbreak for an outer ledge swell. It's definitely like a little bit daunting paddling out on a huge day when you've never even stood up on the board that you're riding, but I guess that's pretty cool, and the fact that like you can put trust into someone who's such a good shaper to hit the nail on the head when you're paddling out, shitting yourself that you might drown, but the board actually works. So yeah, I remember like my first wave paddling in going like, oh god, and then like getting a little air under my board, and then the thing just like hit as soon as I kind of like airdropped and like hit the face of the wave, the thing just went boom straight onto rail and just like started pinning it down the line. I think it's got to be like close to 3 inches thick, 7.6, I think it's around 19. But I couldn't believe how well it rode the tube that day at Cloudbreak. I had one wave where I like came off the bottom and pulled in, and I was like, for sure I'd been too deep on one or two, and I was like, oh no, I'm too deep on this one again. And I kind of like pulled up real high, and the board just like kept like lifting up the face and like dropping back down, and like hit the foam ball and like pulled up again, but didn't spin out or like lose control on the foam ball. It just like kept plowing forward and moving over it and kind of climbing and dropping in the tube, and I ended up making it, and I was so surprised that I did. So I think it was definitely a testament to how good this board is, and I really want to ride it again. So yeah, this is a freshie. So heading down to lower, it's like, this is a 510 Monsta. If it's pumping, this will definitely be something that I'd ride down there. That, and then probably like the Xero Gravity that I already pulled out. If it's a little bit smaller, I'd go with the Gravity, and if it's kind of pumping, ride this fresh 510 Monsta. Lately, I guess I've been up to mostly hanging at home since I had the Grom. I've been trying to spend a lot more time at home, and then I also decided to rebuild a boat, which maybe could have happened at a better time than when I decided to have a kid too, but at the same time it kind of worked out because it kind of anchored me at home a little bit too, working on that project, and then enabled me to be home a lot, hanging with my son. So that's been super fun, and podcast has been fun. That's been a cool project, like since I wasn't doing the tour anymore, working on that with 805 and the WSL. It's been, I don't know, I was kind of like not nervous, but like not sure I wanted to host a podcast. But since I started it, it's actually been super fun, and usually it's just end up shooting the shit with someone that I have known for a really long time, and gives us a good excuse to get together and have a beer and just catch up. So it's been really fun and really enjoyable, and I've been stoked doing it. Coming into summer, not a whole lot of surf up here, but stoked to be getting back in the water. Hopefully do a couple little missions down south, go get some waves at lowers, and get on a couple trips going into the back half of the summer here.
Wow, how was that? Some amazing stuff of Connor Coffin surfing his home break, and great to have him down here in Southern California surfing lower trestles. Some amazing laybacks there. Ladies and gents, I want to introduce you to Micah Margison. Micah, just talking about Connor there, we saw his session. Tell us a little bit about Connor Coffin.
I mean, it really speaks for himself. He rips, all-around legend, and yeah, just a good human in and out of the water.
Cool. Now, Micah, a lot of your surfing, like obviously looking up to someone like Connor, a lot of rail surfing, big calves, you know, but also throwing that radicalness to it. If you saw some of those laybacks, kind of on rail, then busting the tail, like incredible, huh?
For sure, yeah. No, Connor's definitely up there in the top 5 favourite surfers, and look up to him and the way he just rips the shit out of those waves, especially at lowers. He's the man.
Well, there you go, guys. We're going to catch up with more with Micah later. Micah's going to be on the couch with us. Our good friends Damien Hobgood and Brenty are out of the office today, but we've got Micah to replace. And we're going to talk a little bit about Micah's surfboards in the next episode, so stay tuned. But once again there, like sounding off to Connor Coffin, incredible guy, great surfer, former World Tour surfer, but I think we love to just watch him free surf and love hearing about what he's riding, what JS models are under his feet. So thanks a lot, guys. Stay tuned and we'll check you next time.